There is no doubt about it. The hybrid vehicle market in Australia has long been dominated by Toyota. With so many of the Big T's rivals focusing in on the SUV buyer, the affordable end of the hybrid spectrum has long been forgotten and has lacked diversity. That is, until now. This is a 2024 Hyundai i30 Sedan Hybrid. It's taking the fight for frugal fuel use seriously, and it's packing a real value punch. Let's dive in and I'll tell you why. Hyundai updated the i30 Sedan late last year with a facelift that brought new exterior styling, new lighting signatures, and new safety items. The i30 Sedan Hybrid rolls into the facelifted range with its set of LED headlights at the front, joined together by this strip. To me, it looks a little bit Robocop, especially with that wider front grille as well. Down the side of the car, we've got a set of 16-inch alloy wheels on this entry-level variant, and you can see that these angular crease lines have made it through to this facelifted model. To me, I love that fact because I've always appreciated this car's design, and now I actually think it's even better than ever. But let me know what you think about it in the comments below. We've got the entry-level i30 Sedan Hybrid here, which costs $33,000 before on-road costs, or $35,990 drive-away nationwide. Importantly, it undercuts the cheapest Toyota Corolla Hybrid sedan on price in most Australian jurisdictions with that drive-away deal. If you are shopping for a hybrid sedan, there's also the Honda Civic Hybrid option, though you would need deep pockets because it's about $20,000 more expensive than these two hybrid titans. But back to the i30 Sedan Hybrid. It's powered by a 1.6-litre four-cylinder engine which, together with an electric motor, sends 104 kilowatts and 265 newton-meters to the front wheels. This powertrain is shared with the Kia Niro Hybrid. Importantly, the Hyundai's 3.9 litres per 100 kilometre fuel claim matches the Toyota's, and the car only needs 91 octane fuel. For that $33,000 price, the hybrid variant includes items such as an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, cloth seats, dual-zone climate control, wireless phone charging, reverse camera, rain-sensing wipers, and front and rear parking sensors. This is a cabin which looks and feels a little bit more premium than its price tag would suggest. I do like the metallic inserts on the dash and door handles, and I also like the stitch pattern through the door cards here. However, it isn't the nicest feeling cabin, and there are hard plastics all over the shop. In particular, I don't like this grab handle here, which really could have benefited from a bit of soft touch, like you'll find on the dash. I'm a fan of these seats, which offer good side support, and I am really supported in the lower back as well. The seat material itself, it might just be cloth, but it does feel hard wearing, so you do have that longevity. Storage-wise, we've got a set of dual cup holders which can be configured in deep or shallow format depending on how big your drink bottle is. Now it does get a wireless phone charger, and it now gets a USB-C port as well. The center console box is pretty deep, and you're also getting a glove box as usual. The 8-inch touchscreen is a similar size to what you'll find in entry-level rivals, and the underlying software is dead easy to use. There's a set of buttons below the screen to quick jump between menus and functions, and the air conditioning controls thankfully get their own panel below that. This system comes with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connectivity, which is what I like to use with the car. But unfortunately, the entry-level hybrid variant doesn't come with Hyundai's BlueLink connected services, which do allow you to control certain car functions from a smartphone app. Nor does it come with digital radio. In front of the driver, there's a 4.2-inch display to show various powertrain information, especially what the hybrid is up to at any given point. Though I do wish it was bigger like you get in the more expensive versions. In the back row, I am finding that I'm pretty comfortable back here. It'll be even better if you're not 194 centimeters tall like I am. But there is good knee room and good foot room as well. It's only my headroom that is slightly encumbered by the sloping rear roofline. With amenities, you've got air vents at the back here, dual USB-C ports, a single map pocket, and a fold-down center armrest with a set of cup holders. One of the only ways that I can pick a hybrid variant is this badge on the boot here. Now, speaking of the boot, pop it open to reveal a 474-litre space. It's great to see that the hybrid variant doesn't lose out on boot capacity compared to the petrol. However, it does get a space saver instead of a full-size spare. Anyway, let's go for a drive. From the get-go, the experience of starting this car with a key, this entry-level variant, it is kind of weird in a hybrid because you will fire it up, turn the ignition, and you're not rewarded with a bark to life. Now it is a little bit weird, but there you go. There are other variants in the range with push-button start. But one thing that stays is the fact that this car is really quiet overall. Whether you're driving around town, further afield, or even in the country, it is really quiet and compliant, and I'm finding that I'm enjoying driving this car no matter what situation you're found in. Pulling away from a set of traffic lights, this car actually holds on to its electric power for quite a while before kicking over to the petrol engine. Now, when you are pulling away from a set of lights, you can actually put your foot down to a decent degree before it does kick in with that petrol motor. Between the two power outputs, we've got 104 kilowatts and 265 newton meters sent through the front wheels. And when you put your foot down, it actually does result in a bit of an overtake shove. Now, it's not going to set anyone's hair on fire. This is a frugal hybrid powertrain, keep in mind, but you do have that overtaking power for when you are on the freeway, and around town it's more than useful. One thing which I've enjoyed doing in this car is trying to keep speed flowing through a set of corners, because it's a really nice car to drive through a series of bends. It has a nice flowy steering weight, and while it is light, you do get a decent degree of feedback sent through the steering rack, and the ride comfort on the whole is really comfortable. Driving through suburbia like we are now, the car really just eats all these road imperfections up. Whether it's a speed hump, a road join, everything is taken within its stride, and it's really comfortable overall. This entry-level variant gets a 4.2-inch display inside the instrument cluster, and even though it is small, Hyundai has actually been really smart about how it's integrated, because to my eyes it looks much bigger than it is because it's straddled by two big displays, one for speed and one for rev counting. Now, that screen in the center, it can show you charging information and the hybrid power status. I can see now that that motor is supplying energy to the battery and also to the front wheels, so it's nice to have that at-a-glance display there. One thing I want to mention about the hybrid system is the fact that the changeover between petrol and electric drive systems, it's really imperceptible. You don't notice it. It's like Toyota in that sense where you don't really know or care where the power is coming from as long as it's there, and it's there in abundance. The thing that you do notice to a greater extent is that dual clutch transmission. Now, it does lull a bit over shifts, and it doesn't have the nicest sensation when pulling away at low speeds, but overall, it is pretty responsive to throttle inputs, and it does get up to speed when you're telling it decisively what to do. The i30 Sedan Hybrid's body control is really well composed going around bends. You sort of just flow through bends, and you do feel it is a little bit more heavy than a regular i30 Sedan, but it's not to the extent where you really notice it. And going around town, it's more than comfortable driving through all kinds of situations. There are 3 separate drive modes that you can configure down here on the center console between Sport, Smart and Eco. It always defaults to Eco mode, but there are those other 2 modes there if you do need them. The big drawcard for this car is its fuel efficiency. Now, compared to Hyundai's 3.9 litre per 100 kilometre claim, this car is doing just under 5 litres per 100 kilometres. Now, this is a launch drive, and it isn't totally representative of what you will find on normal roads, but it's actually pretty impressive from a first go. However, I do look forward to trying to see whether I can bring that number down. It's funny, I drove a regular i30 Sedan recently and remarked at just how comfortable and frugal that car was. But this car offers all of that and more. Its real-world fuel efficiency is even better than a petrol i30 Sedan, and it's arguably nicer to drive on the road too. Considering it's priced on par with a Toyota Corolla Hybrid Sedan, I can see Hyundai stealing away more than a few buys for this accomplished small car. If you've enjoyed this video or learned something interesting about the Hyundai i30 Sedan Hybrid, be sure to like it on YouTube and stay subscribed to get all of our future content. As well, you can always read the full review on Drive.com.au.